Hello folks, and welcome back to my channel, the Scottish Model Railway Guy. Now listen to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mic off and get really close. And then I'm going to bring it back to me. Now, why am I asking you to listen to something? Because I've been discontented with the Hornby controller for a wee while. Now I'm not using the Gaugemaster one you can see in the foreground. I'm actually using the Hornby one, which I'm going to dip down to right now, and you can see some of the electronics that I've set up. If you've never seen how I've done that, the video is coming up right here. However, going back to the video, what I thought at first was that Hornby had sold me some duff engines. Now it turns out they didn't, and how did I find that out? Well, for Christmas I got this, and I actually just put it in the other day, and it's now nearly May. And what I found was that when I changed to the Gaugemaster combi, the noise disappeared. So I did a bit of research on why that happens, and it turns out that the Hornby controller, and I'm just going to ramp it up, I'm going to ramp it up in the right direction, that is. You can see it pulses at really slow speeds. You can see the engine doing little jumps. And apparently that's because the Hornby controller sends out very high frequency pulses. However, it causes this noise that I'm going to go back. And it's really quite annoying, and I thought, well, that must be how model railways are. However, what I noticed was, when I was at the model railway show in Glasgow, theirs ran silent. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do that comparison. How well does an engine run slow on the Hornby? Well, I'm doing it just now. It does go, but there's a strange noise comes off it all the time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the Gaugemaster now, and you can see how that goes, and then we'll have a wee running session with that. So you've came this far, I've piqued your interest. If you choose to subscribe, I would appreciate it. There's lots and lots going on my channel all the time. Stuff like this, stuff like electronics and how-tos left, right and centre. So anyway, on to the Gaugemaster one. How am I going to do it? Under here is the Hornby power track. So you push the buttons down and pull that out. Now, if I don't get this first attempt, I'm going to press pause and then come back, because I'll end up disturbing all the cameras. But what the thing is, when the Gaugemaster one comes, you can see the power track's a very particular size. Now you can buy sleeves, I can't remember the name of it, you can buy those sleeves for Hornby power track. But I just did it with some bootlace ferrules. So I'm just going to make sure that's turned down, because if I do that, you'll see the red light comes on here. So there is actually power behind it, so I don't want to shock power into the system. I've never glued that wee tree down. And then one by one, push them into this, which is a challenge. And if it, like I say, if it doesn't go first time, I'm just going to come back to it later. That's one in. And then push the other. Push the button down. Two in. Oh, actually I might be able to do this whole thing in one job. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my mic down here, have a listen, and then turn this up. And nothing happens because I never selected a direction. Very, very quiet. Compared to the Hornby, you don't get that whining noise. Coming back. Very, very smooth, but you can also go very, very slow on it. There's a very low hum. But you can't do that with the Hornby controller. So the only thing I can imagine is that it's quality. I can't remember how much this cost, but I'm guessing about £50 or so. So the dilemma I've got is that I've wired everything up already using the Hornby controller. So I've took all the accessories, my lights, my Pelican crossing lights and everything else that's going on in this. I've took all the power from this stuff down here. You can see the power comes out and goes to a 3V and 5V converter, which I can then take my pick with the power. However, it runs really smoothly on this. So what I plan to do is effectively use the Hornby controller down there as a power source, purely for being able to do these circuit boards, and it won't do much else. See, the thing is, it's not even cheap. I think this unit here is about £17 or £18, but when you buy the power adapter for it, it's another £20. So you're looking at about £40, and for an extra £20 or so, you're getting a much better performance. And when I say that, I mean all the way around the layout is a much better performance, because I'm going to bring this round and then put it into crawl as it goes past me on the far side next to the Bicker and Bush station. Now if you do hear noise, that's actually just track noise, because I've got a lot of things off the back of it. But if I bring this really down, this is what I was seeing at the Model Railway Show, was that you were able to control it to such a degree, which is fantastic. Even across the points, hopefully it is juddering a wee bit. You always get a little drop off as it goes across points, but it's still getting there. If I was to go that slow in the Hornby controller, it would not make it past that point, although it might make it past a Lima point, which, sorry, not a Lima, a Pico point, which are, in my opinion, slightly higher quality. But anyway, that was today. So now I'm just going to switch to some running session images for your enjoyment if you choose to watch them. But yes, the main thing is that I've made my decision on this, and if I was giving it a review, the Hornby controller would be a 5 out of 10. I mean, it actually feels quite flimsy as well. I actually had to glue that button down to it because it kept lifting off. So it's very poorly built compared to the Gaugemaster one. This Gaugemaster one's a mobile one. You can move it about with your hand, but I will mount it to the desk down there, like I've done with all the other electronics. Anyway folks, thank you for watching. If you have already subscribed, many thanks for that. If you haven't, please do consider it, because there's lots and lots more like this. Although I've talked more in this one than I normally do. I'm normally doing stuff. But yeah, really happy with that because of the silence that comes with it. Thank you again folks. See ya.